In this video, we're going to discuss the results that you get from using PrEP-it. We've returned to the Getting Started page where we've looked at the selected functions about what we wanted to achieve as we used PrEP-it. And based on that, we had our inputs that we needed to follow. Many of the results in PrEP-it are found within the individual input tabs. For example, in initiation, it shows us monthly program data metrics around the initiation cascade. And this is used for program monitoring and to identify areas for program improvements. The capacity tab not only calculated total monthly capacity, but also calculated capacity by site or service delivery unit and allowed you to examine bottlenecks and think about different ways of allocating resources more efficiently. Both the Costs Light and Detailed Costs tab calculate annual unit costs for PrEP and allow you to see the cumulative monthly costs and how they decline the longer one stays on PrEP. The Drug Forecasting tab shows you ARV supply needs for the next 3 months based on prior initiations, or ARV needs and costs associated with targets. And finally, the Continuation Calculator allows you to use client-level longitudinal visit data to calculate the continuation rates, examine reasons for discontinuation, and look at the percent of clients that reinitiate PrEP after discontinuation. In addition to these results, there are other outputs indicated on the navigation bar. Most of the results are found on the results dashboard and results by month. There are 2 additional outputs that are specific to disaggregated targets, targets by district, and targets output for PEPFAR. You can see if you unselected disaggregate targets that the last 2 would no longer be relevant. An additional feature to help guide you through the results can be found by clicking on the Outputs link in the navigation. This table indicates the various questions that are answered when combining modules within PrEP-it. Starting with the first row, if we enter information on initiation, costs, and impact, we can answer questions like how do our actual program costs compare with expected costs based on our inputs on per visit costs? And what is the projected impact of PrEP that we've already provided, which could be used for advocacy purposes? These are found in Table 1A, which is located on the dashboard. When looking at targets instead of our current program delivery, we can answer questions such as how much will it cost to achieve these targets and what impact will we get for the money? This is in Table 1B. We can either click on the results dashboard located in A3, or we can click directly on the cell with the title name to take us to the correct location. Here's where we see our results with Table 1A looking at program accomplishments in terms of the total number of initiations, those currently on PrEP at the end of the data entry period, total costs, and total infections averted, both by priority population and overall. Table 1B gives the same information, but is based on targets. Scrolling down, you can see longitudinal graphs on a number of initiations and those currently on PrEP by month, with the dotted line representing future forecasts for program data and the targets looking at targets by month. Let's return to our results navigator. Looking at further results, we can see that Table 2 examines cost and cost effectiveness by priority population. Tables 3A and 3B look at how many visits one can expect in the next 3 months based on prior implementation trends, and then how do those visits compare with our capacity. Tables 4 and 5 look at annual costs, with Table 4 focused on program data costs, and Table 5 looking at projected annual costs based on targets. So these can all be found in the dashboard. We'll go back there. and quickly scroll through. Here are cost effectiveness in Table 2, the corresponding graph. Table 3 shows us our projected visits for 3 months. And one can see if there's a capacity gap in 3B. Table 4 and 5 look at annual costs. So you recall that in addition to the dashboard, there were other output pages. There was the results by month page, which we can click on and access here, which shows us our monthly summary of program indicators based on current levels of implementation. This gives us monthly PrEP initiations, those on PrEP at any given point in time, and the number of continuation visits, costs, infections averted, and the cumulative cost per infection averted. So you can see how those decline over time. Similarly, with targets, we have the same outputs, but these are more projected into the future based on targets. As mentioned, there are additional outputs associated with target setting. You'll note on the results navigator that because we didn't select disaggregate targets, that is not green and bold in column C. So that's a way to indicate as you review the results navigator which outputs are appropriate for you. They'll be highlighted in both green and in bolded titles. So those are the main results here in PrEP-it. Thank you for watching.